Welcome to Skypodcast. Watch out for a new episode every Saturday.
The world of dating is so much more complicated nowadays. Para sa akin, yung way of me actually learning how to talk to the opposite sex, it was kind of intentional because sobrang torpe ako. It shouldn't be me trying to impress the girl. It should be me trying to figure out if I want this girl to be a part of my life or not. And I think that's a healthier perspective.
But
that's
not how I remember it.
Really? You want a solid relationship, kailangan may label talaga yung relationship yun.
Welcome back, everyone.
Here we go again. Ilang episodes na tayo? It's like 400 plus episodes.
Really?
Yeah, well, I saw sa files natin, like 420 something. So parang...
No, it's season 4, episode 20.
Oh, okay.
Grabe naman yung 400.
Sabi ko, parang dami na. But I think it's in the like few hundreds din.
Yeah, definitely more than 100, I think.
So, hindi ka pa nagsasawa.
Hindi naman. You know what? I actually appreciate the podcast because even though we have we're always rushing to find time to shoot the podcast because you have your own busy schedule and I have my own busy schedule. To me, it's nice to finally be able to sit down and talk to you one-on-one and have the energy to discuss things with each other and not be preoccupied with other things on our mind.
With anything else. Oh.
Yeah, life always gets in the way, right? Especially when your parents, the kids are so noisy, all these deadlines, all these phone calls. Pero parang forced tayo to sit down and chat, which is really nice, I think, and healthy for our relationship.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Kasi minsan throughout the day, naiisip ko, parang, ay, sasabihin ko to kay Slater. And then parang, okay, I'll wait na lang sa podcast para may time kami. Oo, sometimes ganun.
Like
pero
example?
Pero most of the time, nakalimutan ko yung mga kailangan ko sabihin sa'yo. As a mom. But it's really our time together. And I like it.
And I hope hindi naman sila nagsasawa as mga Sky Fam listeners out there. Kasi since like, tayo lang dalawa for the most part.
Yeah.
We've been talking for hours and on end. And well, for me, it's fun. It helps me congest my thoughts or make it like you kind of know something about something and your opinion about that something. But if you don't put it to words and you don't put it into a concrete content, mas vague siya. But when you have to explain it properly, you can kind of process that information as well.
When you have a discussion with someone. And for me also, what I like about this podcast, at hindi ako nagsasawa talking to you.
Yeah.
Sana naman, kasi asawa na tayo. But I also get to know more about you. Because there are things that I don't even bother asking you, di ba? Or like even like, let's say when we talk about our exes or your experiences when you were in your childhood, living in the province or all of these things, parang hindi mo siya maisip na tatanungin mo at such an in-depth level. Diba? Sometimes you just say, okay, ito, one word, isang tanong, isang sagot, okay.
Yeah.
Pero because of the podcast, parang I get to know you on a deeper level also.
Yes, yes.
Diba?
Oh, yeah. So for those of you in a relationship out there, ito yung suggestion namin sa inyo.
Start a podcast. Joke lang.
No, but it's true though. When you meet someone, when you're dating or kind of like on the flirting stage, hindi mo kasi tinatanong yung malalim na questions.
Or hindi lang sa malalim, minsan random. Diba? Random. Pero it makes you get to know the person more when you get his insights or his opinion.
And basta pa-process natin. Diba? Anyway.
Love, yung tanong ko sa'yo, when we first started dating or when you first started considering me as a potential. Kasi alam naman nating lahat or sa mga bago lang nakikinig, Slater and I didn't always get along. When we first met each other, we didn't initially like each other. At the beginning, I thought he was GGSS and he thought I was obnoxious and like maarte.
Yes.
Oo, so parang ganun. So paano yun nag-change for you? Like, I think we had a serious conversation or malalim na conversation. Di ba that's how it started with us?
Yes,
Parang
yes.
nagka-converse tayo. Oo, sige daw.
It was just I think there's times lang when we get the opportunity to connect. I think that's when parang nag-click tayo and you realize na, hey, this person is for me. But I feel like, and I keep telling you this, na just before you met me and just before I was ready, that's why parang feeling ko nagko-conflict din tayo because we were in different wavelengths, I would say. Like, you had an impression of me and I was in a phase in my life where I didn't care, party boy, ganyan. So, I think it took a while na all these experiences na para mag-move forward yung relationship natin or like for us to actually happen. So,
parang tamang timing din.
Tamang timing lang.
Oo.
Yeah.
Pero kasi, hindi ka, like, you didn't use any pickup line on me. Did you?
Yeah,
Hindi ko na
sobrang galing
maalala.
ko lang talaga na hindi mo alam.
Actually, I was just talking to one of my good friends about our love story and all of the nuances that happen and all the things that we know in private that we don't really share online about the beginnings of a relationship. And she just kept laughing and laughing and laughing. Na parang, oh my God, hindi ko akalain, parang movie. Ganun daw. Yeah, and then one of the things I remember telling her was that when I was dating you, I had just gotten out of a serious relationship that was super long. So parang I wasn't really thinking anything long term of it. And I was already waiting for the time that you would break my heart. Kasi what I've heard from you is party boy nga, chick boy, ganyan, madaming girls.
So you came into the relationship expecting that it wasn't gonna work out.
Yes. And expecting the pickup lines and expecting that all of the things that you told me, you were probably also telling 5 other girls. To be honest, yeah, remember, love, I keep telling you like, oh, line mo na naman yan.
I think there's a progression. Kasi ako, like, para sa akin, yung way of me actually learning how to talk to the opposite sex, it was kind of intentional because sobrang torpe ako. So parang I had to like force it out of myself and kind of like, mga friends mo, tuturuan ka na ganito dapat. So you taught these pickup lines that really don't work.
Yeah.
But then you realize those pickup lines, for me, what happened is, it gave me at least a little bit of courage na, okay, I know exactly what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So, sa torpe days, ganyan pa ako. And then it slowly evolved into, hey, it shouldn't be me trying to impress the girl. It should be me trying to figure out if I want this girl to be a part of my life or not. And her as well when it comes to me. I was at that stage already when I was with you. Like parang, I want to see if this girl is interesting. Yun yung approach ko. And I feel
interesting or interested? Or
interesting
okay.
to me. So it's like, instead of me trying to impress you or make myself interesting to you, it's more of like, hey, let's see if we have common ground and let's see if we connect.
Yes.
I think that's a healthier perspective
But
coming into
that's not
something.
how I remember it.
Really?
Kasi naalala ko pa yung mga pick-up lines mo sa akin dati.
Oh, sabi mo,
wait lang.
pick-up
So
lines.
first, because we didn't like each other, right? I remember we had a conversation na, ay, may sense pala tong guy na to. May sense pala tong girl na to. Parang ganon. So that was kind of what opened up the opportunity for us to consider being dating,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when we started dating, that's when all the pick-up lines came out.
Ano mga pick-up
And,
lines?
you really want me to share it? Do you really want to be honest?
No naman. I mean, merong mga hindi naman siya pick-up line because a pick-up
Hindi,
line...
pick-up line talaga siya.
No, a pickup line is a line that you say, di ba? Like, this is how I understand a pickup line. Tayo at that time, we're already kind of dating and into each other. So
We're
hindi na siya-
flirting.
Yeah, we're flirting. So parang laro-laro na lang siya. Iba yung pickup line na, hey, how you doing? or whatever that is.
No, it was definitely a pickup line na, for me, medyo cringe, but because, syempre flirting na kayo, type mo yung guy, parang naging icebreaker na lang siya na, seryoso ka ba gagamitin mo yan sa akin? Parang ganun na lang. So it became light,
Okay.
And because I already liked you at that point, or like, I also wanted to like dabble in this game. Like,
Dabble.
sige, let's see where this is going. Pero parang I wasn't really taking it seriously na,
Yeah.
okay, this guy's using a pickup line on me. Loser. Hindi ganon. Parang, I
Really?
guess also your delivery, also your confidence, and parang my charm. It's part of it, And then when I call you out, you just laugh. And parang,
Or maybe, no, I remember I would use pickup lines na sinasadya kong kalokohan sa'yo.
di ko alam kung sinasadya ba yun. Didn't seem like it.
Okay, sige.
Poll na lang tayo, guys. What do you think? Eto yung line. Joke lang.
No, secret na natin yan. Kasi baka magamit ng buong
Wag
internet.
na. But there are some things that we like to keep private.
No, but to be honest, my approach when it was, I don't know if you remember it the same way because this was quite a while ago.
Quite 10 years ago.
10 years na ba?
10 years ago.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah, my approach with relationships at that time was like, bahala na si Batman. Like, hindi siya needy in a way. Like, I don't need to be in a relationship. I just want to see if this girl is interesting or not. So, even if I use mga pickup lines, it would be like parang playful.
Yes,
Hindi siya yung,
playful. Hindi siya desperate.
I'll use this pickup line so that you will like me. Hindi siya
Exactly,
ganyan. Yeah.
exactly.
So that's kind of like how I understand the pickup line.
And I think that's what made it work because it was playful and joking. It wasn't so desperate, right? It's not like, please work. I've practiced this line 10 times in my brain. Hindi siya ganon, which is kind of creepy, right?
Yeah.
So, another question I have for you, love. Ano yung line between romantic and creepy?
Romantic and creepy. Yung pag sobrang, sobrang, you mean romantic is when you're like pouring your love to a girl, right? Like that. In that sense. And then it becomes creepy because it's too much.
There's a term now called love bombing.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, paano mo masasabi na love bombing na siya? Or paano mo masasabi na, ay, sweet. That's so sweet of him. He always thinks of me. Or like, oh my God, this is so creepy. Stop telling me you love me.
I think it's, I think hindi siya one size fits all. If it were me.
I think so, yes.
But I think that it's about the reciprocation. If the gesture you are giving gets reciprocated, hindi siya creepy. Nagiging romantic siya. Kasi it's accepted by the other person. So for example, if I were to approach you and you're not interested in me, kahit ano pang ginagawa ko, kahit, I gave flowers and I gave this thing, whatever, you'd say, creepy niya, palagi nagpapadala ng flower. Or that. But if you were really, really into me, and I did that, exact same thing, you'd say, romantic niya. Or even you like me a little and I show you a lot of like, ikaw mismo na parang wait, too much.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi siya reciprocal. So I feel like that's kind of like the measure. I don't know.
I think that if it's reciprocated and also the timing, I think. Kasi some guys, parang the girl doesn't even know you exist yet tapos love bomb na agad.
And mahal na kita agad.
Or di ba, kinuwento ko sa'yo recently lang yung experience ko when I was in high school. High school pa to, guys, ha? So, put it into context also that the guy probably didn't also know what he was doing. He was also in high school. I went to an all-girls Catholic school and every Valentine's Day, there's this gate and a shelf beside the gate where the parents leave the lunch boxes for the kids to pick up or like whatever. If may naiwan ka sa bahay, dun iiwan tapos kukunin mo lang. So every Valentine's Day, that whole wall of shelves would be filled with flowers, chocolates for all the girls because it's an all-girls school. So all of the guys from that all-boys school would go there, leave flowers, etc. And I remember going one Valentine's Day, I think I was in third year high school, a junior. I went there and saw all of the flowers looking for my baon. And then the guard was laughing at me and telling me na, uy, may special delivery ka. Sabi ko, saan ba? Then she gave me this huge, like, flower arrangement, kemerot. Di ko na alam may stuffed toy ba yun. Di ko na maalala. But the creepy thing about it was, some guy had written me a letter and printed it on a tarpaulin. So, like, huge. Like, mas matangkad pa sa akin. Tapos yung font size niya,
hindi ganun
font
kalaki,
size 10.
Mas matangkad sa'yo.
Pero di ba creepy? So, feeling ko timing din. Kasi, dude, I had just met this guy once or twice. He never showed me any interest. And then bigla na lang Valentine's Day, boom, lahat, bigay ko sa'yo. So, medyo creepy siya.
Yes. So, again, with the reciprocation. But, naisip ko rin, it's a matter of, like, for example, hindi tayo magkakakilala. Tapos biglang mahal na mahal mo na ako.
Oo, or like stalking, you know everything about me.
So, I think that's the part of wherein there's a certain sense of trust where that intention is coming from, because let's say for example I'm sobrang magandang babae and then I'm sure I get a lot of attention every single day and these guys don't really know who I am and then just lumalapit lang sa akin tas mahal na niya ako bigla but hindi niyo naman ako kilala. So I think that's where I was coming from when I said na parang it's more of like seeing if I'm interested in you as well as you being interested in me. So parang you get that connection first, you get to know that person first before you actually say, okay, I really like this girl. And by that time, the girl already know that you know her.
Yeah.
So parang
may connection na kayo.
Oo, pagbigay mo ng interest, parang feeling ko mas
it's less creepy.
It's less creepy because now I know na pareho kami ng hilig. We're both from Chinese upbringings or whatever that is. Mas malalim na yung connection, di ba?
May tanong ako sa'yo, love. Ano yung pinaka extravagant / creepy thing that you've ever done for a girl ever in your life? Kasi alam na nating lahat, you've dated a lot of women.
Extravagant.
Or pinaka inifortan mo ever. Kasi knowing you now, hindi ko ma-imagine na grabe effort ni Slater kasi sobrang chill niya talaga.
Pag shinare ko, baka mainggit ka eh.
Oo, baka sasabihin ko, bakit ako lang ganon? Ako.
Maybe I'll need time to think about it. Kasi parang tagal na nun.
Kasi
tayo is 5,
parang wala
10 years. Well, ako, hindi naman ako malaking gesture. But I feel like there may have been instances where I was in college or high school na parang...
Mas may time tayo, mas may...
Ano rin,
mas may
parang
effort.
my idealistic sense of how romantic gestures should be. I can't, like, walang nagpa-pop out na yung malaking-malaki talaga na gesture.
Something out of character. Nothing stands out.
Maraming mga out of character na parang you profess your love to a girl, ganyan. Pero parang hindi naman like in a very big gesture sense of the word. Parang hindi siya yung pagdating niya sa bahay, andun mga roses and everything.
Yeah, you know. That's not you.
Ako siguro wala din akong mga budget that time for those kinds of things. But yeah, siguro it's more of like flying to surprise that particular someone.
But you did that to me.
Yeah. Oh, baka ikaw yun. O baka iba din yun.
Gusto ko yung hindi na niya maalala ko ako ba yun or ibang babae.
Hindi, ganito. Tayo, we've been together for 10 years. So imagine pag mga past relationships, kung mga gano'n na katagal yun.
Minsan nga, I ask you, di ba, ikaw ba yung kasama ko nung time na yun? Kasi, sino nga yung kasama ko? Basta may kasama ako. Gano'n lang. But, you know what, funny, may kwento na naman ako. So, one of my really good friends, yung husband niya ngayon, husband na sila ngayon, mag-asawa. So, parang naalala ko na, for me, what the guy did at that time was bordering creepy love bombing levels. Pero since mahal na mahal niya yung guy, she was so kilig. Siyempre, mag-asawa na sila ngayon, di ba? So, one of the things that the guy did was mag-book out ng restaurant. Tapos, hindi lang yun. Normal yun. I mean, you know, some people do that. They book out restaurants, so it's private. But, you know, to decorate it with fairy lights. And then, bigla na lang may alam mo yung magsasayaw silang lahat, bigla.
Okay. Sige. So, may mga performers.
What do you call that? Like, you're in a mall and then you think everybody's just shopping and then suddenly one person dances and suddenly everyone's dancing. For you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, parang mga ganun na gesture na sobrang grand na parang, sabi nung friend ko, like, at first it was sweet and then bigla na lang, oh my God, 3 minutes, nagsasayaw pa rin sila. Hindi ko alam ano gagawin ko. They're all looking at me. Yung mga ganon. Or like, gumagawa ng mga songs na for her. Tapos, isang choir talaga kakanta for her outside her house. Like, ganong level of love bombing.
And so, anong nangyari?
Kasi hopeless romantic yung guy. But see, it's not love bombing if it's reciprocated. Kasi, syempre mag-asawa na sila ngayon at
pero
kilig na
I
kilig
think the
siya.
love bombing you're thinking of is a different, feeling ko mali yung understanding mo of how I understand it. Love bombing is when you do that to manipulate. When you, to get something out of that person. Yung mga ganyan. So I think that's how I understand it. But it's more of so that we've shown you so much gratitude, so much love that it would be awkward for you to refuse. That's how I know.
So it's a manipulation thing.
Yes.
Sorry, hindi ako na-brief.
But ano naman masasabi mo, love, about mga no boyfriend since birth or no girlfriend since birth? Kasi meron kasi tayong community, di ba? Sky Podcast community on Facebook if you're interested. Marami daw doon nag-share na mga no boyfriend since birth. Can you give advice? What is the perspective of a woman when it comes to dating someone who has no boyfriend since birth? Or no girlfriend since birth naman?
So,
Or,
kunyari,
vice
ako,
versa.
I'm a woman, obviously, and I'm dating someone now, and this guy that's making me ligaw, wala pa siyang girlfriend ever.
Yes.
My personal opinion is, hindi ko alam eh. I think
Hindi siya awkward or hindi siya
yes,
parang,
I mean, to me, it's a little bit of a challenge for me to accept it because at this point, at my age, parang, ano ginawa mo? Bakit wala ka pang nahanap? Kasi usually as a guy, di ba, in society, in our culture now, the guy is the one who makes the first move. So, ano kaya, bakit wala kang girlfriend ever? May commitment issues ka ba? There's that aspect. And also, there's that pressure that, oh my God, I'm his first girlfriend. I have to be perfect. I mean, kawawa naman to. Like, I can't mess with him. I can't, it can't be a fling. It has to be serious right away. It has to be romantic right away. Because, you know, when you haven't experienced it, iba yung concept mo of what love should be, right? Like you, since you've dated a lot and been with a lot of girls, very solid ka na. Like, okay, dapat ito. Because you learn every step of the way. Pero kung wala ka pang experience, parang ang hirap. You know what I mean? So parang it's like, ako pa ba mag-train? Or parang, baka sensitive pa to? Baka emotional pa to? Baka mag-aaway pa kami sa small things? There's that challenge. There's also the aspect of, oh, that's so sweet. He must be saving himself for someone that he really likes. And yeah. So two sides to the story.
Yeah, pero meron talagang kinakarga na parang question marks.
Pressure.
Na, like questions about that person. Parang,
I think at this age,
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah, of
40,
course.
late 30s, ganun. But syempre, when you're younger, it's fine.
kasi we have friends naman na mga no boyfriend since birth. They dated around but never had a boyfriend.
I think for girls, it's different. For guys, it's different. Kung no girlfriend since birth, with the assumption that at our culture and at the time that we were growing up, it's the guy who makes the first move. Iba din yung karga nun compared to a girl na no boyfriend since birth with the assumption that the girl is not making the first move. She's just waiting.
Well, meron akong auntie na ilang taon na. Like, senior na pero no boyfriend since birth.
Are you
talaga.
sure no boyfriend talaga siya?
Sabi niya, kiniklaim niya na wala pa siyang boyfriend since birth.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of really close friends of mine na no boyfriend since birth. And they're such great girls. Like, super catch. Like, I would reto them to any of my good guy friends. Pero, siguro, wala pa siyang na-meet lang talaga. Oo. Ikaw, kung guy ka, tapos, you find out that the girl you're attracted to is no boyfriend since birth.
I mean, okay lang naman. There's just a few parang questions lang. Kung parang matatanong mo talaga eh. Like, especially if you're a little bit older na. You kind of like, when you're talking to her, you kind of like, you're looking for, bakit kaya? Feeling ko lang I've never dated na pero parang, feeling ko lang, it's not a complete hindi, pero you'd be looking for, bakit kaya? In a very sincere way.
Bakit kaya? Parang ayaw ba niya talaga mag-date?
So
Or...
meron nga pressure when it comes to that. Yeah.
No? Higher
But
pressure.
we have a lot of friends we have some friends na no boyfriend since birth that parang, masabi ko, sayang naman ito. Parang, but I feel like the guy also feels a lot of pressure. Everything's the first time.
Yes.
Everything's like the first kiss, the first
Alam mo, na, yung friend
hand-holding.
Yung friend na, I think we're referring to the same friend. She's a great friend of ours. Naalala ko yung advice ng isang friend natin sa kanya is, to get that pressure out of your system, why don't you go out, like, fly to Paris or fly to London or whatever, and then just have a night out. Like, not sleep with someone, but like, meet someone, interact with someone, flirt with someone, just to get it out of your system that it doesn't have to be a hopeless romantic kind of love.
Pero bakit
right
sa Paris
away.
talaga?
I mean, somewhere na hindi siya kilala. That was the point. Na parang,
Wow,
okay,
social
if you're shy to do it in Manila, kasi parang, baka ma-rumor or whatever, I don't know, whatever the history is there. Fly somewhere out of town and like, make out with someone. Just get it. That was the advice of my friend. Di ko alam kung tama ba yun or hindi. You might have different opinions about it. Pero, yun yung advice niya. Para, as the girl that's no boyfriend since birth, mawala din yung pressure na yun. Oo.
Yeah, kasi I also feel like if I were dating a girl that has never had a boyfriend, feeling ko, ang daming mga ilang moments na, like parang, is she okay that I hold her hand? Like, is she okay if I do this? Kasi, parang, what like, alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Parang everything's so new eh. So I think that's something to day.
I think also if it's a guy na no girlfriend since birth, for me, let's say if I had been dating around and then some guy likes me and no girlfriend since birth, parang siguro in my head right now, he might be taking it too slow or he might be taking it too fast or parang the tempo. Hindi ko alam kasi syempre it's just my imagination. You know what I mean? Like with you kasi, when you started flirting with me and dating me, parang in my head, grabe, this guy knows what he's doing. Like, yun talaga. And then, kinakwento ko sa mga friends ko na, siguro 5 kami nagsasabay kasi, but alam niya talaga. Pero, in fairness to you, mabait ka namang tao. Wala ka namang sinabay sa akin.
Hindi mo na alam.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's some things that come with experience that turns out I appreciate. Because I remember growing up, it was always like, oh, wouldn't it be nice that the first boyfriend you start dating ends up becoming your husband? That was always like the girl's dream when I was in my childhood.
Yeah.
Di ko alam ngayon, baka hindi na. Pero dati, and you know what? I really have a classmate na ganun talaga nangyari sa kanya. Yeah. First guy she ever dated, they're married now. Amazing for the lucky few.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was the ideal. But now, with a little bit more experience, parang na-appreciate ko din na you've been through so much. You know what you want. You know what you don't want to put up with. And you've also taught me a lot of what I should...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it also depends on where you're at in life. Kasi for example, if we were both teenagers and we kind of liked each other, wala pa akong ganyan na maturity. Wala ka pa rin ganyan na parang maturity also. So parang mas okay kayo with a lot of things. You're a little bit more flexible. you're a little bit more less picky. I feel it's kind of like, ako mahilig ako sa coffee ngayon. So it's like, okay, mahilig lang ako na any coffee. Okay, I like coffee. And then, eventually, as you go into the hobby, you get deeper into it, like parang, I have this particular preference and I want it this way. So I feel like as we grow along, parang ganyan din siya. I don't know if the analogy makes sense. Or siningit ko lang talaga. Kasi gusto ko pag-usapan yun.
No. I think I understand what you mean. And I think that's where the pressure comes from. The pressure to be perfect for this guy because you're the first and you're the only one for him na love. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, I liken it to your first job. I liken first relationships to your first job. Because the first time you go to a job, you don't have a benchmark. So you don't know if you really like it or is it supposed to be this way? My boss is treating me a certain way. I don't know if yun ba yung tama o hindi. Pero okay, I like my job. So parang may question mark pa ng konti na ano kaya yung
kabilang
andun?
job.
Like, and then you hear these stories from your friends na, oy, alam mo, dito maganda yung namin yung culture, whatever that is, may sweldo namin dito. So, you kind of like looking over that, bakit yung relationship natin, bakit itong trabaho ko hindi pa kagaya sa ganyan. So, ang daming mga points of comparison kasi hindi mo pa rin alam kung anong gusto mo. So, maybe that job fits them well and your job like parang fits you kahit lilipat ka doon.
Doon mo pa ma-realize.
Doon mo pa na-realize na okay pala ako sa dito. So may mga ganyang daming question marks yung first relationship, I would say.
I think, kung may friend tayo na magpapa-advise sa atin, sasabihin ko siguro na, okay, no boyfriend since birth ka, siguro date around. Para lang you'll see what's out there.
Yeah.
They're creepy guys, not all guys are good. They're romantic guys. They're guys na shy, torpe guys, sad boys, So, see what's out there. I guess that will take a little bit of the pressure off.
So para alam mo kung what's on the market. Meron akong isingit lang. Let's say, for example, if you're a girl,
I am a girl.
As a girl, and then parang no boyfriend since birth or parang awkward ka rin, it's harder for you to be the one to approach, diba? I don't know how it works these days, but syempre pag...
Oo, sige.
And there's mga... How do you show the guy that you're interested in him?
I think now it's easier because you have social media.
So nila-like mo yung Instagram
yeah,
niya.
papansin, like, tapos leave a comment, cute, I like cats.
Nga, no?
Whatever. Tapos react sa stories, mga ganon. Tapos kung mag-comment din siya, build up from there. It's super easy now, I would say. Plus, you have the wealth of the internet to teach you how to flirt. You know what I mean? Dati talaga ang hirap nung panahon natin.
Like, pag phone, how do you like...
Sa panahon ng parents natin, letter pa. Wala pang phone. Can you believe? Mas mahirap pa.
Nga, no?
Oo.
Yeah.
Tapos parang nag-invest ka na ng letter 1 linggo bago dadating. Diba? Will you send 10 letters to everyone? Parang hirap. So, now it's a lot easier.
Yeah, pero even at the time of my parents, alam ko na I have uncles who are smooth with the ladies and meron din mga sa kanilang generation na awkward. Yung dad ko parang palagi nilang pinagtatawanan na ito si engineer yang magaling magtayo ng bahay pero hindi magaling sa babae.
Talaga?
Kasi sobrang tahimik daw, sobrang
So we know where you got it. Ikaw, love, sinasabi mo kanina na torpe ka growing up. Was that ever a hindrance for you to get girls?
Oo. Yeah, like ang dami ko ng mga crushes when I was in high school. But since no one really guided me, yung kabarkada
No one really guides you.
Depende kasi. So, mayroong mga kabarkada mo na tuturuan ka na ganito, ganyan. Like you have cousins who would be older than you and like lead you to, do you like this girl? This is what you do. You call her, ganyan, whatever. Para sa akin, parang question mark ko and I was too shy to ask anyone. Yung kabarkada ko at that time, hindi ako mabarkada at that time. So, I didn't have anyone to share it to. So, parang, okay, crush ko tong girl na to.
You didn't ask your brother?
My brother is my younger brother. So, parang...
so feeling mo
Okay.
okay.
So, I didn't know exactly what to do. Like, parang you're reinventing the wheel na, ano ba, magte-text ba ako? At that time, I'm sure it's different now. I don't know, but I'm sure it is. Ang daming mga, okay, this is how you approach a girl. I'm sure that's on TikTok somewhere. TikTok,
dati
YouTube.
walang internet.
So you don't...
Walang cellphone.
You're just winging it. Landline pa. And then when you call a landline, most likely, ang sasagot, hindi yung girl na gusto mo. It's most likely going to be her parents.
Yeah.
So parang, tita, can I talk to, So there's that awkward thing. And then,
Oh my God, yes,
and
I
then
remember.
bagong-bago ka pa. I remember, I'd take note of, ano kayo mga pag-usapan namin? Sige. Itong
May list of topics ka.
Oo, yung mga, I don't recall if I listed it down, but I remember,
Thought of
sige, okay. Siyempre, hey, nandyan ba si ano? And then, yeah, hi, Slater. Hindi mo na, oy, kumusta ka? Parang, and you run this in your head. Paano ba to? Walang mga sliding into the DMs ngayon.
Yeah. You know, it's so much easier with text because you can compose your thoughts or you can consult with your friends. Like, ito yung sinabi niya. Ano sasagutin natin?
ko?
Tapos may game pa na, okay, nag-reply siya 1 hour late. Sige tayo 4 hours. So, ganun, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos may post pa sa social media, parinig, all of these things, which make it so much more complicated now. But before, sa time natin, love, oh my gosh, it was so different. Yes, you would have to call landline. Tapos naalala mo yung may gagamit sa bahay ng internet. So, hi, stop talking on the phone. Mag-dial up ako.
Yung mga ganyan
Ay,
pa.
sorry ha, kasi yung brother ko gamitin yung internet. Usap na lang tayo tomorrow. Okay, bye. Super
So
awkward.
I think it's a lot harder. Ngayon, kung medyo torpe ka o nahiya ka, it's easier to just send a message. Meron pa nga akong mga kaibigan dati na sobrang nahiya siya. Alam na nila yung girl has a crush on them. They have a crush. So it's like parang mutual. Pero they just don't know. Ito, text naman to. College na to. So, na-invento na yung cellphone. But, alam ko that he actually gave his cellphone to our other friend na mas marunong, mas may experience. So, ito sasagutin ko tapos balik. Tapos, sasagutin ko
Yeah, that happens a lot, even to girls.
Yeah.
Like, my friends have gotten my phone for a lot of things and vice versa.
I'm sure.
So now, parang there's anonymity, there's pa-cool or mystery pa. Dati wala, ikaw talaga, sariling sikap. Tapos if nasa bahay ka, nasa phone ka, di ba? And then you're talking to a girl, trying to flirt your way to the conversation, and then somebody else in your house picks up that phone, they can hear everything. Di ba?
Yeah.
So medyo awkward yun.
Yeah, so
Naalala
same
ko yun.
line. Pero paano, love? Do you, as a girl, do you think itong mga games that we play, like girls and guys play, what do you feel about it? Do girls know about it? Like, for example, okay, I'm gonna take like 4 hours to respond.
Yeah, of course girls know about it. We're not stupid. We're probably playing the game first before you.
So, like, for example, if yung guy, I don't know if I did this with you. I don't think I did.
No.
Parang,
Wala tayong game.
Feeling ko, wala.
Matanda na tayo.
Yeah, but I remember that I used to, matagal ka mag-reply. Sige, matagal din ako mag-reply. Parang then it becomes this thing na parang, hassle.
Yeah.
So, I think umabot ako sa point na, okay, if the girl is playing a game, I won't play into that game. Bahala na kayo dyan. Feeling ko jaded na rin.
Yeah.
In a way.
Which comes with experience, right?
I think so, yes.
And age.
Yes.
Kasi naalala ko din na before, I would play that game. Like,
Yeah.
sige, 4 hours sige, ako 1 day. Wala ka, busy din ako.
Oo.
Matagal mag-reply, mas matagal ako mag-reply.
Yeah.
Magsasend ka ng meme, mas magsasend ako ng meme. Ganun. Pero with you, parang feeling ko, busy din ako, busy ka din. So parang, sige, pag may time, reply. And pag wala, as in like normal.
Yeah, there would be like a normal conversation would be, okay, back and forth tayo, and then maybe there's like someone doesn't reply for like an hour or two, and then balik na naman ang may conversation. I feel so old talking about it. Ang hirap pag may nag-uusap tayo, and then 1 hour, and then 1 hour, and then 1 hour. So there's no flow to the conversation. You really don't get to know the person. Pero tayo kasi yung parang nilalaro natin na pakipot ako, ganyan. Hindi
I mean, it's
hard
part
to
of
get.
it. You know what? So I had this friend also who's a lot younger than me. Nagtatanong din ng advice, ganun, like, tagal mag-reply, or parang, sometimes I feel like he really likes me, but then sometimes, iba na naman yung vibe niya, so hindi ko talaga alam, ano ba, situationship ba, all of these things. Tapos sinabi ko lang sa kanya, alam mo, while you're young, that's really part of the game of flirting. So, enjoy mo lang. Kasi sa age namin ni Slater ngayon, wala nang pa-game-game. Pagod na kami. Yung isang friend ko na nag-date pa ngayon, late 30s na, sabi niya talaga sa akin, Chris, oh my gosh, dating in your 30s is so different because the guys, parang first date, second date pa lang, straight up ask, what are your plans? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Like, straight na talaga. So, when you're in your 20s or younger, when you're just, learning this game and play, just enjoy it. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
Like, masaya siya kasi pag older ka na, hindi na yan babalik.
Natatawa ako kanina kasi yung mga, sentences start with, when you're younger.
Kaya nga Sky Mom and Sky Dad na tayo. Hindi na Sky Sis and Sky Bro.
Like, no 20-something would say, when you're younger kasi.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, this is coming from experience. And like the world of dating is so much more complicated nowadays and so much more accessible din. Pero ang daming mga laro. Like the situationships, the non-labels.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that we don't really know about, but generally from across the board on just human nature, parang meron ding mga rules na nag-a-apply all throughout. Like for example, if you want a solid relationship, kailangan may label talaga yung relationship niyo. Kung nagde-date ba kayo, exclusive ba kayo.
Alam mo, yun din eh.
Yun, diba?
Ikaw, did you ever, you asked me to be your girlfriend formally.
Yes.
But I remember the relationship I had prior to you, which was 7 years long. Wala. Understood lang.
Understood lang.
Diba? So parang iba-iba. Ano ba talaga for you? Do you always ask?
If I don't ask, I feel like eventually it will get asked. From a girl's perspective or my perspective, like kung hindi tayo sigurado and hindi ko dinefine, what if we come across a situation wherein, let's say for example, may lakad ka, may kasama kang ibang lalaki, and then parang ako hindi ko na alam kung saan ako pupwesto. Am I okay with you going out with your friends and a few other guys? Should you inform me or not? Like parang may mga daming question mark eh pag kaya mo ring laruin, like parang hindi mo naman dinefine eh. Well, mahirap yung undefined talaga.
And because generally speaking, it's usually the girl who asks the guy, like, let's DTR, define the relationship. Let's have that talk. DTR. Which is a very awkward talk to have, usually, right? That's what you see on TV.
Yes.
So you as a guy, you're telling me now that you prefer to define the relationship.
If you're taking things seriously, definitely. Definitely. If you're not serious, you wouldn't want to define it also.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang if the guy or girl is playing around, syempre, most likely, ayaw mong i-define kasi it gives you a level of freedom.
Wag muna, 1 foot out the door muna ako. Just in case I find someone better. Sasabihin ko nga, no, we're just flirting.
Ang hirap din. Like, we have friends na parang, ano ba tong lalaki na to? Parang sobrang interested, napapadala ng gifts, pero biglang nawawala din. Like, ano ba talaga? Gusto mo o hindi? So parang, even at that stage, if like, well, this is me being old. Kasi alam ko kung nung bata pa ako, I want to define it, but hindi ko, I don't have the guts to say that.
Yeah.
It's a very awkward question mark.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was in the hundreds of podcasts that we did. My very first girlfriend, I told you this story,
Hindi niya alam na girlfriend kayo?
My very first girlfriend, alam ko nang may gusto siya sa akin. Ako, may gusto dun, definitely. And timing, yung girlfriend ng kabarkada ko was the best friend of the girl that I was dating.
Okay.
So parang nagdo-double date kami palagi.
Yes.
So we're always on this double dates.
So alam nila.
Oo. Then itong kabarkada ko is one of those kabarkadas that actually helped me, like parang, dito ka puwesto, this is how you do it, ganyan. And this was my first girlfriend. This was college. So, very late bloomer. He would tell me, hey, ask the question. Just ask the question. Sinabi ko na sa girlfriend ko to ask the girl that you're dating na kung okay ba si Slater mag-ask. And would she say yes if I asked? So, alam ko nang guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
You know your answer.
Oo, guaranteed. You just have to ask. And okay na kayo. Official na kayo. Hindi ko pa rin talagang, this is not the right time. This is, kailangan, ang daming mga question marks pa rin. Na parang ang daming mga doubts. I haven't done this before. What phrase do I use? Ang daming mga, you overthink it. So, ang ginawa nila, one time, sabi, double date tayo, let's go bowling. So, pumunta kami sa bowling dito sa may country mall. So, bowling
Na-closed na ngayon. Ganun kami
katagal. Closed na siya ngayon. So, pag-park namin, 4 kami, then bigla yung kabarkada ko nagsabi, okay, 3, 2, 1, go! And both of them, him and his girlfriend, ran out. And then,
so awkward.
Then sabi niya, tanungin mo na. Tapos umalis sila.
So
they went to the bowling area. Then kami na lang dalawa And even then, like the girl I was dating, sabi niya, so, may tatanungin ka raw sa akin. Yung ganyan na talaga na level.
Oh no, my Ross, I'm so cringy for you.
So it took me like 30 minutes.
Oh my God, I would have punched you.
Yeah. So sabi ko like parang, sobrang patient din ng girl.
Yeah.
But like parang kung sa kape pa, ginawa na, minix na lahat, binigay na, inom na lang yung sayo. Hindi pa nagawa yung parang ganyan na level. So yeah, I think it's part of it. It's part of the journey. It's part of what makes it fun. Looking back, di ba, like, if it were that easy to connect and find the person that you like, it wouldn't be special. Yeah. So I feel like the whole friction, the whole game, the whole, like, awkwardness, I think it's part of that.
Thinking if, does he like me? Does he not like me? Is he gonna propose? Is he not? It's part of the experience.
Yes. But what I realized is, we were talking about like pickup lines and all of these things. The more you use them, the more artificial that relationship becomes, I feel. Like parang the more you use like parang methods or yung mga
scripted.
Or eventually like parang those lines aren't your lines. Those aren't genuine in a sense. Maybe it's good to like get you out of your shell lang na kung hindi mo talaga alam, at least may starting point ka. But I feel like it's all about finding that connection, making the girl like you for who you are. Like, even when we were dating, sinasabi ko talaga ng lahat ng mga kalokohan ko. Kasi, sa isip ko, like, I'd rather you know right now na ganito ako, like, kesa sa tinago ko and then we move forward and then you expect this different version of me and then yung relationship walang proper foundation.
I think easier said than done, right? Na, just be yourself, make her like you for who you are. And gets namin na, at least sa time mo, love, when you were super torpe, gets din na you were a lot younger and you had to develop your sense of self-confidence and all of these things, right? I think one of the advice, I think my dad was the one who told me this, is, life is short. And what I learned at this point na I'm a senior citizen and all these things is, you need to have a sense of humor with life. So, even with the pickup lines, you know what I mean? Like, siguro, don't make it too serious. Like, have a sense of humor. If you know you're awkward and you're gonna parang give a pickup line pero hindi ka sure how to say it, parang just say it but laugh. You know what I mean? Just have a sense of humor. I remember a friend of mine who was also dating someone who was kind of on again, off again, situationship, di niya alam kung ano. Instead of making it super serious na, hey, alam mo, I've been really thinking, ano ba talaga tayo? I've been waiting, ganyan, medyo serious at mabigat. Tinanong niya straight yung guy na, uy, ano ba, bros na lang ba tayo? Kasi ayoko na maghintay. Alam mo yun? So parang the way, the you tone of voice, you take it lightly, you make it less awkward.
Yeah.
If it's just playful, then you kind of disarm the person that you're talking to and make them mag-walls down at least. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you were giving me a pickup line, at natawa lang ako, parang feeling ko that was also, parang nabukas yung gate. Diba? Na parang, okay, not too serious. Okay, sige, let's try. Ganun.
To the point where I actually been comfortable na to date, masasabi ko na kilala ko na yung sarili ko so that when I talk to someone, it took a lot of awkwardness. I'm sure I've used a lot of mga awkward pickup lines where the girl would just roll their eyes. Pero you kind of like need to push through that to get to like, especially for us na medyo introverted, mga shy types, these things doesn't come naturally to us. You just have to push through the awkward boundary, awkward phase. Hanggat sa kalmado ka na. Spoken like a true
Tito. Knowing lang that, hey, this is part of it. Knowing lang na, okay, sige, namnamin ko yung feeling na to or namnamin ko yung not knowing kung ano yun, ano tayo ngayon. Knowing that it's just part of it. It's what makes love so special and so interesting and so memorable. Already helps a lot. But you know what? I think, love, that's one of your charms and that's one of the things that made me trust you more.
Yeah.
My impression of you nga was very playboy, chick boy, party boy, all of these things. Nag-artista at one point. So parang it's very like, this guy's not gonna take me seriously. I probably shouldn't take this guy seriously either. But then you were so confident in yourself and with me na, don't worry, I'm not like that. I'll show you. It was always, I'll show you. Then slowly you started opening up to me now. You know, when I was young, I was a nerdy kid. I was not the cool kid. You know, I experienced this, I experienced that. You know, I was so torpe, all of these things. When you paint the picture of who you are, that's complete. It's not just like, I'm the perfect boyfriend. But this is me also at the back. It makes me trust you more.
That's true. parang
Okay, may dimension yung...
may humanness to it, I would say. Yeah, I can imagine I've dated a few girls na parang seemed perfect. Like everything maganda, and then when you talk to them, like they have their act together, but walang connection because they're usually putting up a face na
perfect
I'm
sila.
perfect. Like when we know, everybody knows that no one is perfect. So what your acts are, what keeps you up at night. I think this is
so parang nag-interview lang.
Oo, and then like, parang sinasagot ka ng the best face forward. And I feel like at that time, hindi ko siya gets kung bakit wala masyadong connection. Looking back, because the interaction was too sterile. Because
Walls up masyado.
walls up. Yeah. Walls up would be the right way to describe it. I feel like it's all about knowing yourself, knowing what you want, and like valuing yourself also.
I think
Like
so.
knowing that this doesn't fly with me. Kahit gusto ko pa yung babae, hindi ako papayag na ganito. And I feel like we had certain moments in our relationship, we drew boundaries talaga. And I feel like that made the relationship a lot healthier kaysa kasi mahal ko siya or gusto ko siya. I allow her to treat me this way. Pero the older you get, parang mas importante na respect each other's boundaries also.
I think tama yung value yourself. And I want to highlight that lang as the last thing we say before we go. Because a lot of times when we really like someone, parang, sige, gagawin ko na lahat para sa'yo. Para mag-work tong relationship na to. You also have to realize na at the end of the day, parang you're part of the relationship too. If you're gonna like marry this guy, let's say you're 20 or 30, you're gonna marry this guy. Let's say you're gonna live to 100. You're gonna be with this guy for 70 years. Are you gonna really put up with it for 70 years? Maging masaya ka ba for 70 years with this lie? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So never compromise yourself and always think that it's not okay to settle. So kailangan nga, I think I agree with you, no? When you're looking for a partner, it has to be something that works for both of you, not just one way lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give and take.
Wow, spoken like a true mom and dad. Kids, don't settle.